Department of Physics, St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous presents St. Joseph's massive open online courses in electronic instrumentation, and this is a skill effective course for undergraduate students. Course Electronic Instrumentation, Chapter 2 Oscilloscope, Lesson 2.3 Electron Gun Assembly. Myself, Dr. C.H. Praveen Babu, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, St. Joseph's College for Women Autonomous, Visakhapatnam, is the instructor for this course. Lesson 2.3 Electron Gun Assembly. Learning Outcomes. Definition of electron gun, working of electron gun, construction of electron gun. Electron gun assembly. Definition of electron gun assembly. The electron gun is defined as the source of focused and accelerated electron beam. It is a device used in cathode ray tube for displaying the images on the phosphorus screen of cathode ray tube. The electron gun emits electrons and forms them into a beam by the help of a heater, cathode, grid, pre-accelerating, accelerating and focusing anodes. Diagram of electronic gun. The main parts of electronic gun are heater, cathode, control grid, pre-accelerating anode, focusing anode and accelerating anode. Working of electron gun. After exciting from the cathode, the electron gun passes through the control grid. The control grid is made up of nickel material. It has centrally hole and coaxial with the CRT axis. The intensity of the electron beam depends on the number of electrons emitted from the cathode. The grid has negative biasing which controls the flow of electrons. The electron which passes from the control grid is accelerated by the high positive potential which is applied across the pre-accelerating and accelerating grids. The electron beam is focused by the focusing anode. The beam, after passing through the focusing anode, passes through the deflection plates and goes to the fluorescent screen.
This is an electron gun of a CRT, and these are the pins for electrical connections, and this is outlet nozzle for output electron beam, and these two connections are for heating side. So this is complete.
Construction of electron gun. The main function of the electron gun is to produce and accelerate the beam of an electron inside the vacuum tube of the cathode ray tube. For generating and accelerating the gun requires the heater, cathode electrodes, grid and different types of anodes. The detailed explanation of their parts is shown below. Heater. The heater converts the electrical energy in the form of heat. It has a resistor which obstructs the flow of current and converts it into thermal energy. The heater heats the cathode electrodes and emits the electrons. Control grade. The control grade is a nickel cylinder. It is the metallic cup which has lower permeability steel. It is about 15 mm long and has a diameter of 15 mm. The hole of about 0.25 mm is drilled in the cap of the grate for the flow of the electrons. The intensity of an electron beam after passing through the grid depends upon the emission of electrons. Pre-accelerating and accelerating anode. The pre-accelerating and accelerating anode accelerates the beam passing through the gun. These anodes are connected to the high potential of alternating currents. Focusing anode. After passing through the pre-accelerating anode, the electrons are passing through the focusing beam. The focusing anode produces the beam of sharply focused electrons. The electron gun is placed inside the glass envelope so that the electron beam did not interact with the air molecules.
We will have a look on the first part of the CRO, the electron gun. It's a modified version of the cathode ray tube. The first modification is made to the anodes. The anodes here are two hollow tubes instead of a closed plate. This is to allow the passage of the accelerated electrons through it to the deflection system. The second modification is adding a grid. The grid is a metal ring that is connected to a negative potential. This negative potential is controlled by a controller button. On the interface of the CRO, this button is the brightness. Adjusting the button will adjust the negativity of the grid, and hence the amount of repulsion between the negative grid and the negative electrons. This in turn controls the thickness of the beam of the electrons, which finally affects the brightness of the spot that will appear on the screen at the end. And this is simply the function of the electron gun.
From this lesson 2.3 Electron Gun Assembly, what have we learnt? Parts of electron gun, heater, control grade, pre-accelerating and accelerating anode, focusing anode. In this presentation, figures and the animated video are taken from the open sources of Google. Thank you for watching this presentation.